As I said in my gospel nugget, I've just returned from Iraq, and I just wanted to give you a little bit more information than we attach to the nuggets when we send it out. So this is a kind of a special message, but it's a special message of thanks really first to our constant supporters, especially our regular supporters. I went to Iraq for the 9th time since 2015, and it was both very encouraging but also very depressing. It was very depressing because our brethren are still struggling. They're not being murdered, but they are being silently persecuted, as the Archbishop said to me. There is economic oppression and there is demographic oppression, an attempt by the Shia group in the Nineveh Plain to literally drive the Christians out by buying houses, buying shops, refusing to use their shops. So there's a sense of oppression and a sense of occupation. The images of Shia saints or martyrs, so-called saints and martyrs, General Soleimani, etc., are everywhere. And I asked our friend Father Banoka, this feels like an occupied country, and he said, it is. So great oppression for our brethren, so the prayer is so important. But secondly, there was encouragement, true encouragement. Our businesses, which we support, which you help us support, they only survive because of your help, are really doing quite well, and that was very encouraging to see families staying, so many different kinds of business. Over the next few weeks, we'll put little stories up in the latest news, so keep looking at the website. I'd highlight the first business, not the business in Mosul, which I'll talk about next week, which is very encouraging because that's a real hot spot where al-Baghdadi himself proclaimed the so-called caliphate, to have the first Christian business beginning again afresh there after he left in 2014, driven out by ISIS. But I'd highlight this week two stories, two businesses, two little what they call kiosks. They're really food shops, fast food shops where you can buy a hamburger, some kind of sandwich, etc. They cost $1,200 to create, but one of them in the town of Karamlesh is run by a woman. The other is at the monastery of St. Barbara, run by a gentleman. He makes, in the good season, about $100 a day. On a Sunday, $150. That is keeping him and his family. That is a good, healthy, successful business. Only successful because of your help and support. So that is really encouraging. Something as small as $1,200 has started a family business and made a family business successful. The Archbishop Bashar Wada of Erbil, greeted me last week, and he greeted me with a hug, which maybe for Americans is not so unusual. For Britons it's horrifying, but for Iraqis it's rather unusual as well. He greeted me with a hug and he said, you understand now because you are connected to the people. And that was a great compliment, not to me because I've been coming to represent us, but it made me feel contented because he knew that I was not someone who drifts in and drifts out over the years, or maybe makes one visit and uses it for self-publicity. I've been coming since 2015 when very few were coming, and the fact that he greeted me that way and said, you listen to the people, is truly encouraging, because I listened and they said we needed businesses, we need economic help, we need to stay and survive only with a business. So that's our unique method, our mode, our niche as it were, being in Nazarene.org. And so I thank you with this special message for all your support, and continue to ask for your prayers for our brethren, first and foremost for me and my ministry, and your continued support in some way, if you can, to help this wonderful charity, which is surviving because of you, helping our brethren in Iraq, some in Syria. We've had to suspend for a little while in Syria just because of the economic issues, getting money in safely, but we'll re-emerge very soon. In Lebanon, which is very difficult, and please God, very soon we'll have news of our entry into Egypt, which is also the Holy Land, where the Lord, his mother, and his stepfather, St. Joseph, his foster father, were able to stay when they were persecuted by Herod. So thank you, bless you for all your help. God bless.